Welcome back for the sixth class, for the sixth lecture for Microsoft Azure Machine Learning Studio. So we have previously we have seen this dataset processing and analysis. Here we actually seen this and trained a model using a linear regression. So for everything we are training a model. That's what we are doing actually. But thing is, that's not the point. The point is this became a little more complex actually. So we'll just revise it. We'll just revise it and we'll go to the new model. They had this cleaning of three different types of cleaning of data. They clean the data. One they used substituting with zeros and removing the columns, and this next they did a median thing, and the next they did probability. What I did is I just used the data to train a model using linear regression algorithm and generated a score model and evaluated the model and saw the graph. That's what I did. And I kept this constant. I didn't change anything. So that's what we did. We can do a lot more than this, but we used one of the sample which was there, which were there in the actually in the model. So let's use another sample. Probably guess what? Probably I'm assuming you will get used to this Azure Machine Learning Studio, and you will be using this. And another homework. So homework number 1, use that one for automobile price prediction for the three different algorithm. Okay, any algorithm, make sure it's a regression algorithm. Any linear regression or Bayesian or Poisson, it's up to you. Using this, we are use this one, right? Using that method. Homework number 2, sorry, I actually had this homework number 2 actually. Okay. Okay, so I've lost this homework number 2. So never mind. So this first homework, use this one. The next, we'll see how it works. So we'll use one more model. Oh yeah, got it. Homework number 2, publish a paper. Publish a paper on any of these, whichever you like. There's a lot of samples here, use neural networks. I don't care. Publish a paper. You don't have to put my name. That's completely, I'm just using to train you, so you don't have to put any of my name, but I would like you to publish a paper. That's a homework. Anywhere, I mean, there are a lot of free journals. If you don't know any journals, open DJ. Oops, I forgot that name actually. Forgot that name. I'll get back to this. Open journals. Actually, there is one journal where this is a directory of open journal. Here you can find many free journals. Write a paper and publish this paper in any of this journal. Okay, there's search from here, and do this. This should be good for you. You can predict a model, how this model works, and there's a lot of things here. Okay, so that was homework number 2. You don't have to put my name. That's completely optional. I mean, it's not required technically. But let's train another model, and let's move to notebook, and we close this class. So just one more model actually. Let's see which one we use. This was pretty good. Dataset processing and analysis. They had 3 different cleaning method, and this was very fascinating. I really like that one. Let's to be honest, that was my first model to show you, and for you too, it was first, and I really enjoyed that model actually. Okay. Let's see here. Probably I'll go to validation of binary classification, cross validation for. Okay, so we'll use this. Let's view this in gallery actually. How does this look like? And then we'll go to this one. This has 4 likes. Very interesting. Okay, looks good. So we'll go to this. This has 4 likes, and probably not. That doesn't mean it is good, but cross validation for regression. Let's open this in the studio. Okay, let's see how does this thing works out. So this is a third scenario for us, third or fourth, but it will give you some brief idea for your paper, actually for publication of paper. I wanted to publish paper, so okay. So they did this already. Okay, this is a little bit different. So this is similar thing with like your homework kind of thing. They have this data visualize. We can visualize this. There is again there's something missing here. Can anyone tell what's missing here? Right. No, actually I don't think anything is missing. Let's run this model first thing. Let's run this model. It will take some time, and then we'll visualize it and try to see what's going on. First, run this model so that there is no errors. There will be no error actually. Cross validation for regression. So they use the same data actually of we whatever used. I also, you know what, if you want a different data, I use that one. You have this different data actually. You can use healthcare data. If you don't like automobile, use healthcare data. Just don't want to open it, but the Excel is not, my Excel is not good, so you can also do that. Import data, you have this option of import, and directly import that data into CSV. This is .csv file, and okay, good, this thing has run successfully, but my Excel is still in opening. Okay, let me show you first this thing. So alright, so here, okay, don't worry about it, this is my system problem. It's not this is not, the file is not corrupted. That's my system problem. Okay, so you have this data for free, but oh, there's too many rows. It's like 17,960. Okay, probably you can do what, the columns are okay, but I guess rows are too many. Probably you can delete some of them, put it only 100. Okay, because the you have, although you have 10 GB of data, that's not the point. The running will take too much of time. Remove, put only 100. Probably you can remove this from here. You can remove all this data, just delete it. It's too much. I mean, not that you cannot use it, it's just too much to process this data for machine learning. It will take a hell lot of time. This thing is pretty big. It's never ending. I intentionally actually used this one because I wanted this one for my experimental process, to get the information. So what you could do is just use 100 of them, and that's it. Okay, good. Oh, this 17,000. Oh my god. And just delete it. Oops. Delete this column. Okay, so you just I did some mistake here. I'm supposed to delete this column to this I'm sorry, this data, this row to so this didn't get deleted, so we can do that. Okay, so just use 100 of this one, and you have the data. If you want, you can upload and you can go to the data set from local file, and you can choose from the local file, and then you can go ahead and where is it, Azure Machine Learning Studio, this lecture number 2, and upload it. It's that simple. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, if you don't like this automobile data, we are using too much of everything, which is data set. Why don't we use our own, right? So so let's visualize. We already know what's there here, automobile data. We have done that 100 times. Symbolizing, okay, price and all those things is this. That's good. Cleaning missing data, of course. We have to clean this. We see what we have done. What they have done is symbolizing. They have custom substitution value, replacement value. They have put whichever the data is not there, they put as 0. That's very interesting. You can do that too. So instead of null, you will have 0. The value was null. You know the difference between null and 0, right? Null means nothing. You can remove that, but instead of that they put 0. That's very interesting, because the values will be very different. Okay, because you have that separate row. Row gets added in that 0. That's a good thing. Alright, now what's happening is they are doing a linear regression, and they are doing a boosted decision tree regression and Poisson regression. Very interesting. 3 different things. That's what I told you to do the homework, right? But they already have this cross validation, so you can do that similar thing from the price thing. So now let's visualize this cross validation model. So this 3 has cross validation model, and what happens here is very good. They've got this graph. I'm sorry, there's no graph actually. So here the score labels got updated using cross validate model. Can anyone say what is missing here? There is something missing. Okay, so what we'll use here is evaluate model. You know what? I use a different thing altogether. Why don't I use this? Evaluate probability function. I'm not sure what does this, but alright, so let's see what columns. This column is price. Fair enough, we'll use price. So go to this column and use price. Click here and run this model. Oops, sorry. So let's see what happens. I don't think there will be an error. If there is an error, let's figure it out. Okay, there is no error. That's good, because I know what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to see. So this thing showed up, but I wanted graph, right? So one column with standard deviation. So this thing for me it's not working. So what I'll do is I'll go back to evaluate model. So this should be good. So this actually, why this is useful is so to get me the mean and the root mean square and all those things, and the graph which shows the values actually. So that's good. We have done this, and let's visualize. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So this is what I was looking for. I mean, that's what. So an error histogram. This is only one graph. There was supposed to 2 graphs or 3 graphs actually. I mean, probably that's a different model. So I will use that for evaluate model, evaluate model, and I'll go here. Go, sorry, this one, and I can run the whole. We'll just run the whole thing actually. Let's find out what's happening. So I have this 3 different graphs of 3 different values and see what's happening, because this has 3 different algorithms for that same data set, and they are validating with, oh that's good, this ran pretty fast. So we also view this. So here the frequency and the error, and this is the values. Okay, 1932.2430. Let's find out if these values will not be same. As per my knowledge, that's right. Values will not be the same, because what's happening here is we are doing the cross validation for regression, right? We're trying to do this cross validation for regression and trying to evaluate that model and viewing those graphs. Okay, does it make sense? So this was a simple one actually. This was, but they had this 3D. So let me explain this flowchart again. People who have missed, or people who is a little bit confused. So what they are using, as usual, there's a data. It's always a data. So data, they are cleaning the data. They are using custom substitution value. They are not removing the row. They are replacing it, the value with the 0. That's completely a different thing altogether. Okay, putting that at 0 gives entirely a different result, because removing a row is a different thing, and putting a median is a different thing, and putting it, you have a lot of options of cleaning. How the whole point is, how do you want to do this and visualize and see how it's working out, right? So this is good thing. So then they are using this regression model of online gradient descent with learning rate of 0.1, number of training 10, and this is regression weight is 0.001. That's very good. And boosted tree regression, they are using this parameter, a single parameter, which maximum number is 20, minimum is 10, learning rate 0.2, total number of trees 100. This is very interesting. And they are using this Poisson regression. This is the same data. They are using same data, and they are using 3 different algorithms to generate the result. Okay, one e to the power of -7, and regression weight of 1 in the 1, and memory size for 20. That's good. And they are cross validating with the price. At the end of this, they are using all this price. So you don't have to be price. You can select 3 for 3 different things. You can select 3, but it has to be numeric. I don't think this works if you are using a string. Let's try this. I don't think this would work if it is a string, but let me change this price to some string value, right? Only one you can do it. So let's say make is a string, right? Now this is a whole thing altogether. Now let's run this particular flow. This is the only flow. There are 3 different flows, right? One is for linear regression, the other is boosted regression, and the other is Poisson regression. And let's see how this thing works. This would be very interesting. Oh, it did. This is fantastic. I didn't thought of running a string value. Very interesting. So it does work for string. This is a proof. And let's visualize it. What happens with the graphs? very interesting. So we did this for the string, and this thing worked fantastic. Um, but the values, code levels 2 point are for the string values. So the value is for the string. So probably this may not be what you are looking for, because the value they have calculated for the string. Okay, so it takes for the make, but the make is like, you know, Ford, or it's a Mercedes Benz, or it is Lamborghini, or that's the string value. So it's taking that string and converting this code level. Probably that is not something which you will be looking for. So we'll change back to price. That makes more sense for me. Um, so and we'll run this whole thing again. So because the string values, right, the string values are calculated a little different. So it's not taking the make, actually taking the string of that particular value and converting into this code card. So that is a little bit different. Okay, now let's set up a service. Oops, sorry, I did something. Probably it might be some okay. So we'll deploy this as a web service, and probably there might be some error because I did something wrong, but still it had some so all these values are 0, but you can put values here. Okay, and you can test it. So as usual, you can download this one. Okay, so that's pretty much for this. Okay, so we have done a lot of samples. If you want, we can do another sample, but probably I think you got used to it, or you can use that sample, various sample, and try to use this. And this was pretty simple actually. So you know, so that's pretty much for this one. Oh, they have this for clustering. Probably I'll go for clustering algorithm in the next class, and we'll see that. And with that, we will end this. Oh, and I promised notebook too, right? So I'll also, you know, we will go through this notebook. And so clustering is very important. Clustering algorithm, we'll go to this clustering algorithm in the next class. So let me check pretty quick how much of GB is left. Still showing 0 GB. I've used a lot of data here, so a lot of data is here for me. So I'll be running low on data if we cannot use this thing is too many. So I have to delete it if I go beyond 10 GB of data. So that's pretty much for cross validation for regression. That was simple. You know, if you have so we are going through all these lectures, right? So probably you might got through this one too. This was pretty simple algorithm. Okay, so let me go through it again, people who are missed. Well, this is predictive experiment. We'll go to training experiment. So what happened in this model was, oops, not this, sorry, wrong. And we'll go to, yeah, so this is maybe some mistake. Okay, so what happened was, like, we use this automobile data, and of course cleaning of data is always required. We clean the data and use 3 different algorithms, linear regression, boosted, and of course they have used a different learning rate and different method, and Poisson regression they use 3, and cross validate the model, 3 different model. They use partition and sample. Oh, I didn't. You can use the splitting also. Here they use partition and sample. Very interesting. And what I added here is to evaluate the model to see the graph and those numbers. Remember those numbers? Oh, I cannot visualize. I have to run this if I have to visualize. So we have to always run this to visualize. So so what happens is, here you can view those data in graph. Actually, what I was interested is the information what is there in the mean root square and of the clean data, then they substitute to 0, and the frequency and the error, right? So that was pretty much. If you've gone through this first and second class, this should be a piece of cake. It's not a big thing. Okay, so that's pretty much. If you have questions, you can refer you can refer this documentation home, and actually I included in PDF actually, but nevertheless you can still go to the Azure Machine Learning Studio and you can use this, create your first experiment, and you can use this one. I've included that in the PDF document. You don't have to use this one, but you can still use it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay, if there is anything, I will probably, probably this is a good time, to work on this and publish a paper. This is a very good thing. Probably you can do that. Okay, so work on it. Homework number 2. Homework. So remember your homework. Homework number 1. Do this. The 3 we have done were this automobile price prediction. Do this linear regression, boosted decision tree regression algorithm, and Poisson regression. 3 different, similar to this one, not same. It will not be same, similar, because there we are using the splitting data, and cleaning you can use whatever cleaning method you want, and predict and train the model and evaluate that. That's a homework number 1. Homework number 2, publish your paper on this. That should be good. So I hope you like this class. Okay, that's pretty much, and thanks for watching.